Hi, welcome to my YouTube, Babies Are All the Same. My name is Nancy Ham, and I am the owner and the teacher at GentleVentures.com. At Gentle Ventures, I teach people like me, newborn care specialists, to go into the homes of clients and help them with their babies for the first 12 weeks of life. We educate clients. We help them get their babies through the first 12 weeks, which are generally the most difficult time for people to readjust and for babies to be readjusting. So I was talking to my client the other night, and I was explaining to him how he needed to change the schedule on the baby a little bit and do this a little bit. And I looked at him and I said, you know, really, all babies are the same. And he looked at me and he said, I think you're right. And so I decided to make this video to show you how all babies are the same. It's going to be a really fast video because there's 6 basic ways that I see that babies are all the same and need to be treated the same way. Now, it doesn't matter if the baby is cranky or if the baby's calm or if the baby's anything about the baby. Babies, basically, when they come out of the womb, they all respond the same to certain things. The first thing that they respond very well to is swaddling. Babies love to be swaddled. Now, there are many, many ways to do swaddles. The most important thing is when parents say to me, my baby hates a swaddle, then I know the baby is not being swaddled properly. Because when a baby is swaddled properly, they will almost immediately calm down, relax, pop their eyes open and look around and say, this is what it's all about. So we want to make sure that the baby is tightly swaddled. Now, I swaddle babies really tight, and I've never had a baby suffocate because I swaddle them too tightly. I've had parents say, are you sure my baby can breathe? And I'm like, oh yeah, the baby can breathe, the baby is fine. But they're swaddled very tightly around their chest and their arms, their legs, their hips can be left loose if you prefer that. Some people do, some people don't. But that's one thing that I've been doing this for 28 years, and I have never in my whole 28 years come across a baby who did not like to be swaddled. Now, once again, I have people say to me, my baby is one of the exceptions. They do not like to be swaddled. And I would say to you, it could be that you're not doing it properly. If you need more instruction on this, feel free to give me a call. Feel free to visit me at GentleVentures.com, or feel free to contact me at contact@GentleVentures.com. The next thing that all babies love is skin to skin or kangaroo care. Kangaroo care or skin to skin is something that will calm a baby down immediately. Many times before breastfeeding, when a baby is out of control because they're so hungry, I just have mom hold the baby right on her chest, skin to skin, patting the baby, and the baby immediately calms down and is ready to breastfeed. You can see here that the mom's got twins. And so you can do 2 babies at a time. Skin to skin is great for regulating heat, for regulating heart rate. It can be done by mom, dad, siblings, grandpa, grandma, caregiver. It doesn't matter. Babies just love skin to skin. So that's another way that all babies are the same. The third way that babies are all the same is they love a schedule. Oh my God. I have gone on so many jobs where everything is out of whack. The baby is up half the day, or the baby sleeps all day and up half the night, and it's a mess. But when we put the baby on a schedule, A 3-hour schedule, doesn't matter if they're breastfeeding or bottle feeding, everything changes. Everything changes. We have certain amount of awake time, certain amount of sleep time, which max awake time for a baby until he's 6 months old. Yeah, until he's 6 months old is an hour and a half. That's it. Once they're up an hour and a half, they need to go down for the remainder of that 3-hour time. Now, when they're newborns, a lot of times you can't keep them up for that first hour and they're falling asleep. So we respect their sleepy signs, we watch their sleepy signs, and we react to their sleepy signs by putting them down as soon as they are tired. If you have a newborn who is wide awake at an hour and a half, you've missed the sleepy sign and they probably won't go down easy. The second thing is overstimulate. Second thing, I'm way past the second, aren't I? The next thing is overstimulation causes crying. Overstimulation can cause so many things, but crying is the main thing. If you have a baby that you put down to sleep and you know is tired and they will not quit crying, you put them down too late. You need to put them down earlier. Overstimulation causes so many issues with babies. I would say that 60% of the issues that I come across with a newborn are overstimulation. People are not watching their sleepy signs. They're not putting them down when they need to be put down. If you put your baby down at 8 o'clock at night and they cry till 9 o'clock, they're way overstimulated. They need to be put down earlier. So I start backing that up by 15-minute increments until you put the baby down and there's no crying whatsoever. Now, let me tell you something. A baby's biological clock says that their bedtime needs to be between 6 and 7:30. And most of the babies that I took care of are closer to 6:30. So you might rethink putting your baby down at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock for the night, because that's way, way too late. The next thing is babies are conditioned by their environment. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means that habits are formed by the way babies are treated. When a baby is born, its mind is like a big white blank slate. So you get to write on that slate how you want your baby to perform, how you want your baby to react. So when you, for instance, when your baby cries, not knowing what to do, you put a pacifier in your baby's mouth. Baby likes that because that stops them from crying, sucks on that pacifier, spits it out, and starts crying, and you put the pacifier back in. With a baby, 3 times is a habit. Now, that doesn't mean it's a good habit. It just means it's a habit. So you put the pacifier in again. And now the baby's little white board in its brain says, when I cry, I must have something in my mouth, the pacifier. They don't know what it's called. They just know it's something that you're putting in their mouth. So you go to bed at night, baby wakes up, you put the pacifier in the baby's mouth. I had one mom call me and said she was up with her baby 68 times putting the pacifier in her baby's mouth. And she says, I'm not getting any sleep. We need to fix this. Another way that babies are conditioned by their environment is, for instance, if a baby is not allowed to cry. What are people thinking? A baby's way of communication is to cry. When a baby is not allowed to cry, I don't know if you remember Archie Bunker, but he always used to say to Edith, stifle it. And that's what you're doing with your baby. You're telling your baby, stifle it. Your voice is not worth being heard. So the baby goes, eh, and the parents rush in there, pick up the baby. And the baby's like, okay, this is good. I don't have to do anything with this. I can just go, eh, and somebody will be in here. So now you are creating a high needs baby. a baby that needs you all the time, not a baby that learns how to self-soothe himself and is a much happier, much more independent baby, which is amazing. We allow babies to cry for a minute to 3 minutes, up to 1 month old, so that they learn how to soothe themselves. Many times, they just want to voice their opinion in the moment. They woke up and went, oh, where am I? And they're back to sleep because they are learning that they can do that by themselves. You are not neglecting your child. You are not mistreating your child. For the first, oh my goodness, I wish I knew the exact, I think it's like 6 months. It might not be quite that long, but it's right in that area. When a baby cries, it is out of instinct. It's out of instinct. It's not out of my mommy doesn't love me, my mommy's neglecting me. It is instinct. So, babies are conditioned by their environment. They will form habits according to what you teach them. I'm trying to think of another example, and I can't right now. And this is supposed to be really kind of short anyway. So let's go on to the last thing. Babies are so smart. Oh my God. They are so smart. People think that because they cannot speak, that they don't know what they're doing. Let me tell you something. They know. I've been doing this, like I said, for 28 years, and I know that they know when I'm there. When I am there, they act different than when mom and dad are there. They know what they can get by with and what they can't. It is so cute and it is so funny. I had I've had more than one of this, but I'm saying this one baby in particular who I worked Sunday night through Thursday night. So I had Friday and Saturday night off. And this baby, I teach babies to sleep for 12 hours by the time I leave at 12 weeks. It's called sleep conditioning. It's not sleep training, it's sleep conditioning. So I had this one baby sleeping almost all the way through the night, like till 4 o'clock. But every time I left for the weekend, now this was every time I left for the weekend, not just starting at when he was sleeping until 4. Every time, he'd be up half the night. And his mom would be like, I don't know what you're doing to my child, because whenever we have him, he's up 3, 4, 5 times a night. And for me, he's sleeping from 7 p.m. to 4 a.m. And so I'm like, yeah, this kid's smart. He's got you pegged. He knows when I'm not here. They're that smart. So before I left on Thursday night, I wear scrubs. I took my scrub top and hung it over his bed, over his crib on the end. Came back Sunday and I'm like, how'd he do? She says, it was amazing. He slept all night, just like he did for you. So for the rest of that term there, I had to leave my scrub top draped over his crib. So he'd think I was there. He could smell. She's here. She's here. I got to act. I got to be good. I got to do what I'm supposed to do. She's here. And it worked. It's worked more than once for me on babies. They're so smart. Never underestimate your baby. They can act for you one way. They can act for your husband the other way. They can act for the grandparents another way. They can act for your caregiver another way. Oh, they're smart. Don't ever let yourself think because they can't talk, they don't know. So that kind of winds it up for me. And I thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, please contact me through email or go on my website, because my phone number, email address, and everything is on there. It's gentledventures.com. And thanks a lot. Have a great day. Babies are my business, and they are my only business. Thanks.